Hello everyone, I am Abinaya, Assistant Professor at Dr. SNS College of Education, Coimbatore. Today we are going to discuss an important micro-teaching skill, that is the skill of introduction. As the name suggests, this is the art of beginning a lesson in such a way that it immediately attracts the attention of students and prepares them mentally to learn the subject. You can think of it like opening the door to a classroom. If the door opens with curiosity and energy, the students will be ready to walk in, and that is the power of skill of introduction. Let us learn about skill of introduction in this video. Let us get into the video. Skill of introduction. The meaning is quite simple. The skill of introduction refers to a teacher's ability to prepare students' mind for the lesson that is about to begin. It is not just saying, open your books, today we will study this topic. Instead, it is a process of creating interest. It is a process of creating curiosity and readiness before the actual teaching begins. So when the introduction is strong, when the introduction is very good, students immediately connect and they become eager to know what is coming next. Objectives of introduction. Let us look at the objectives of this skill. First, the introduction must arouse interest and motivation. If students feel curious, they'll pay attention. Second one is, it should connect previous knowledge with new knowledge. For example, before teaching about rivers, a teacher might ask, have you ever crossed a bridge or seen a water flowing in a canal? So third one is, introduction gives the students a clear idea of what will be taught. That way, they know the direction of the lesson. And finally, it helps to create positive learning environment. When students are engaged right from the beginning, the classroom atmosphere becomes active and enthusiastic. Components of skill of introduction. So, now the introduction is not random. It has some essential components. Let us see these components in detail one by one. First one is use of previous knowledge. The teacher must link what students already know with what they are going to learn. That is use of previous knowledge. Next one is use of examples or stimulus. A good introduction often uses a story, a question, or a real life example that excites the learners. So, use of examples is very essential. Then, use of teaching aids. So, visuals like pictures, charts, models, or even ICT tools make the beginning more attractive. And then the relevancy. Whatever is used in introduction must directly relate to the lesson. Otherwise, students may get confused. So use everything that is relevant to the lesson what you are going to teach. And then the continuity and coherence. The flow should be smooth. The introduction must naturally lead into the main lesson without breaks or sudden jumps. So be cautious in the continuity and coherence of what you teach. Techniques of introduction. Teachers can use several techniques to introduce a lesson effectively. One technique is asking thought-provoking questions. For example, before teaching about a solar system, a teacher may ask, how many of you have seen the moon last night? Or how many of you have seen the sun? Did you notice any changes in the shape of a moon? Likewise, or if you are going to teach about a computer, you can start with the parts of the computer. Have you seen computers? So where have you seen the computers? So thought-provoking questions can be asked. Another technique is using anecdotes or short stories. So you can just begin a lesson with a short story that is connected to the lesson. The third technique is showing relevant objects, pictures or videos. So this is especially useful for science or geography. Another technique is relating to the topic real life situations. For example, so before teaching about electricity, a science teacher could point out without electricity, none of these fans or light would work. So can you imagine one day without it? So real life situations can be related to the topic. Finally, using examples from students' own environment. It makes the topic more meaningful, and if we want to teach about fruits, we could start by asking what fruit students had in their lunchbox today. So similar questions can be added in order to make introduction strong. Advantages. First, it creates a learning friendly atmosphere and the students feel the class is interesting and worth their attention. Second, it builds curiosity, that natural desire to know more. And the third point is it ensures the active participation, obviously, because the students are involved right from the beginning. And the last, it makes learning more meaningful and connected, and students don't see knowledge as isolated facts but as something linked to their own lives. So the introduction is not just the first step, it sets the tone for the entire lesson. So the skill of introduction is one of the most essential micro teaching skills, and a teacher who masters this skill will never have a dull start to a lesson. So instead, every class will begin with curiosity, excitement and readiness to learn. So next time when you teach, remember your introduction is like opening the curtain to a show. So if the opening is strong, the audience in this case, that is your students, will stay with you till the very end. Hope you understood the topic. Thank you.